look at it come down. Hail, wind, a whole lot of rain. The Front Range needs wet weather, and we are getting it today. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Alexandra Lewis.
I'm Kim Christensen. No reports of serious injuries or damage, but, well, to the patio stuff. There's plenty of debris left behind. 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj weathered the storm for us, and she joins us now after speaking with the homeowner, taking it all in stride. Shalima?
That's right, Kim. And you know what? I want to say that it's over, but we are starting to feel those raindrops coming down on us right about now. A lot of homeowners very relieved that things were not worse. One of the homeowners that we talked to, they actually had a tree in their backyard that fell onto a backyard fence, and that actually wound up obstructing traffic temporarily.
The mess is hard to miss.
Indeed, indeed.
This tree that's been in Holly Campbell's backyard for more than 4 decades
Seen better days.
came down Thursday after storms unleashed their wrath across parts of the Front Range.
It has. It was probably planted here when the house was built, which was in 1983. And we've been here since 1999.
Her husband got home before she did and helped local officials clear the massive tree from the road.
Taller than my house, and my house is 2 stories.
In southeast Denver, rushing water, rain bearing down intensely on some neighborhoods, while others were hammered by hail.
And thank goodness there was no cars hit or affected and nobody hurt. That's the most important thing.
The wild weather left behind other traces of fury. Holly Campbell is just grateful the winds didn't send the tree in her backyard tumbling in the opposite direction.
It was tall enough it would have reached our patio cover and possibly parts of this side of the house.
In time, this fence will be fixed. It may look awful, but Holly admits it's not as bad as it could have been.
Count my blessings. Can always find the shiny side of the coin.
Now, Holly tells us that officials with the local fire department as well as the sheriff's office were out there at one point just trying to get that debris, trying to get that tree right off of the road. They were able to make quick work of that. As we were leaving, we actually saw another crew arrive to get rid of the remaining debris that was there. They also had to go and try to guide some of the vehicles around the tree as it was on that main artery. So definitely a memorable evening for a lot of people right across the Front Range. Reporting live, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Ooh, and more rain. I know. The rain is fine. It's the other stuff that came with it.
Right? Yeah, the wind in that video was crazy, and the hail piling up 2 to 3 feet deep in some areas today. We have a few light showers moving back into the Denver area. Some of the heavy thunderstorms have moved off to the east after leaving hail 1 to 2 inches in diameter. These pictures coming in from Allisonvale in the Centennial area. But some areas saw hail that piled up 2 to 3 feet deep. 1.5 inch diameter hail in the Foxfield area, Centennial with hail over 1 inch in diameter, Arapahoe Park 1.75 inches, and then you get these thunderstorm wind gusts almost 70 miles per hour. Now the good news is it was so much cooler today, 82 in Denver. We'll see this temperature trend continue tomorrow. We're tracking a few showers around the area tonight, and temperatures have come down with the rain and the cloud cover into the 60s, but heavy thunderstorms continue along the I-76 corridor and south of Denver over the I-25 corridor down to Castle Rock and Perry Park. We had a severe thunderstorm warning in Logan and Weld counties. That one's dropping some heavy rain, and the lightning has been really crazy. So those driving late tonight will be treated to quite the light show. We get a little bit of a break. We're going to keep an eye on the burn scar areas for the next round of showers tomorrow. Coming up, I'll let you know the weather you'll wake up to and which areas go back under a flood watch.
A bar in Colfax is still dealing with damage from flooding that hit a couple of weeks ago. The owner of Squire Lounge says 3 feet of water went into his basement, the worst flooding he's experienced in more than 2 decades. The owner thought construction tied to the bus rapid transit project could have something to do with it.
Well, the city hasn't pinpointed a cause yet. Crews are now doing some work there. 9 News reporter Colton Chavez joins us live outside the Squire Lounge with the update. Colton?
Well, Alex and Kim, that investigation for the city started right here this week, where they tore up the entire sidewalk here on the side of the bar. You can see it's kind of a different color from the rest of the area around it. Now for the Squire Lounge, what they say is whatever the city found down there, they just hope it keeps water from going in there. Sometimes when it rains, it pours.
It's been a lot.
Just ask the people at the Squire Lounge on Colfax. Nearly 2 weeks ago, their basement flooded during a Saturday storm.
We've had to replace like our water heater, we've had to replace our condenser, all of our product and stuff like that.
Back then, owner Sadir Kudva told us he reached out to the city, convinced construction on Colfax caused the flooding.
If they did their investigation and they're like, there's nothing wrong. And then I'm like, well, if nothing's wrong and we don't change anything, then the next time it rains for more than 10 or 15 minutes, it's going to be 3 feet of water again in the basement.
So we also reached out to Denver's Department of Transportation, who told us they were looking into it. This week, crews opened up the sidewalk outside the Squire Lounge to investigate further.
You can see, these 3 or 4 foot holes where you can see where water has just gushed into our basement. It was a relief to see the city come in, take a look at the thing, and not just do a superfluous type of investigation. They ripped up the entire concrete on that space and the curb.
The city says it's a temporary fix and that water could still find its way into the basement.
We understand that we're at a low point. We understand that there is gonna be pooling of water.
The Squire Lounge just hopes if it rains, it doesn't pour into their basement.
They're ready for it. They're hoping that, that the city has fixed at least the majority of the heavy flooding problems we'll have.
Now, talking with the city, the next steps for them and the Squire Lounge is that they're actually working with some licensed engineers. They're going to go ahead and take a look at the building and start to work together to figure out what that permanent solution could look like. Live off Colfax tonight, Colton Chavez, 9 News.
Just into the newsroom, United Airlines says one of its flights from Denver to San Diego underwent a security sweep after someone found a bullet on board. The airline says the bullet was discovered before the flight took off this afternoon. They say security personnel cleared the plane and then it went on its way. 178 passengers and 6 crew members were on board.
A judge has sentenced the owner of a barbecue restaurant in Denver that was seized last year for non-payment of taxes. Today, Jared Leonard received a 30-month sentence and 2 years of supervised release after pleading guilty to fraud, among other things. He was also ordered to pay nearly $3 million in restitution. This comes after employees shut AJ's Pit Barbecue down last year while Leonard was out of the country, claiming taxes were deducted from their paychecks but not reported to the government. The state then seized the business. State health leaders are demanding the ICE detention center in Aurora to turn over records related to a tuberculosis case there. Colorado's Department of Public Health and Environment gave Geo Group, the company that runs the facility, until Monday to provide information to state inspectors so that they could investigate the case. The case was reported back in June. The Department of Homeland Security says the person was isolated, treated, and deported. Since then, investigators say they've not been allowed to determine the scope of the health concern. The order requests a list of individuals of confirmed or suspected cases of TB identified since June 1st, people who may have been in contact with the infected person, and more information about that person. This follows a similar order from the Adams County Health Department. The state is also threatening legal action. This comes after a new state law went into effect this week that allows Colorado to issue a $50,000 fine for being denied access to the facility.
2 more law enforcement agencies are cutting ties with Flock. This afternoon, the Salida Police Department said it was canceling its contract with the company and discontinuing the use of the company's automated license plate reader system. The Moffat County Sheriff's Office also announced it will not renew its contract with Flock when the current agreement expires at the end of the year. Both agencies cited privacy concerns for their decisions. Salida and Moffat County are among a growing list of municipalities ditching the company. Denver ended its contract in March and moved on to Axon. Douglas County voters voted in July to get rid of it, replacing it with Axon. Fort Collins canceled its contract a year early, and Longmont decided last year not to renew its contract following community pushback. Today, Flock said it would put new guardrails around its surveillance network and amid public concern of abuse.
People have been damaging flock technology across the country, including right here in Colorado. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office says they have several active investigations into damaged cameras. Our sister station in Colorado Springs found 3 flock cameras have been cut down. The Fountain Police Department has also had 4 cameras damaged. Our sister station also reached out to Colorado Springs Police, Pueblo Police, and the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office about the story. None of them have reported any intentionally damaged cameras.
The cause of the fire that destroyed Denver's historic City Park Bandstand remains a mystery. Denver Fire says its investigation into the March fire is complete, but they couldn't determine whether it was accidental or intentional. Now attention is turning to rebuilding the century-old gathering place. Denver Parks and Rec plans to demolish what's left of the bandstand and build a new one. The proposed design is inspired by the bandstand's 1924 look, with a similar roof and columns, while adding better accessibility and a bigger stage. Historic Denver was among the community stakeholders involved in developing the design.
The most important piece about this is just it being a community gathering place. And the community's made it known that this particular place within the park is really important to them.
Historic Denver says the new design will also consider more fire-resistant materials, additional security, and surveillance. The proposal goes before the Denver Landmark Preservation Commission on Tuesday. The city says the bandstand is expected to be ready for next summer's City Park Jazz season.
Golden's fire chief is out of a job tonight. Today, the city says Casey Beal was fired. Beal had been on administrative leave since August 3rd as the city evaluated leadership and personnel matters following a racist incident at a Golden fire station. In March, someone hung a doll depicting Snoop Dogg by the neck. The city manager of Golden, Scott Vargo, is also out of a job tonight after city council unanimously voted this week to fire him, saying his response to the incident was inadequate. Deputy Fire Chief Sean Jones will serve as interim fire chief.
As many as 7 schools could close in Adams and Broomfield counties as part of a potential consolidation plan. Adams' 12 5-star schools says they're still considering their options, with plans to announce their recommendation early next month. The Board of Education will vote on that recommendation in October. They say decreasing enrollment has led them to consider consolidation. Adding 6,000 students have left the district since 2018. Any adopted plan wouldn't take effect until the 2027-28 school year.